We do have the Offaly County Board Chairman, Tommy Byrne, on the line. Tommy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Can you confirm any of the stuff there that Brian Gavin was saying? Had players contacted you in advance after the game on at the weekend and in advance of training to say that they wouldn't continue under the current manager?
Listen, I talk to the players' reps on a regular basis whenever we need to talk. I'm not dragging any players into this. This was a decision of the management committee of Offaly County Board. The players just want to play, and that's what we're going to let them do. We made the decision. We do the appointing. Whenever we have to terminate an appointment, we did it. It doesn't involve the players at this stage, and it's our job to run the association in Offaly in between county board meetings. We took that decision last night, and that's all I'm going to really say about that. We will not be involved in players because players just want to play football or hurling, whichever the case may be.
Well, so why did you take the decision then?
Well, the manager is suspended for what will be a good bit of the remainder of the campaign this year. And it's a very difficult situation that the manager is central to everything that happens. He cannot be involved in training, cannot be involved in match days. And we felt that that wasn't in the best interest of the team, Tommy, that the manager wasn't being involved.
Tommy, when was he suspended?
The process finished finally last Saturday evening, unless he takes another step forward.
Last Saturday evening?
To the best of my knowledge, the appeal was to Munster Council last Saturday evening.
So you're saying that the county board acted as soon as they possibly could after the suspension came into place? Is that the logic here?
That's the logic. We acted on that, and it is the primary concern.
Why didn't you sack him last Saturday evening then, before the game?
I actually wasn't aware of it until Sunday.
You weren't aware of what now?
That there was an appeal on Saturday night.
So what difference did the appeal make then?
But sure, the appeal is the part of the disciplinary process.
But if you were unaware
of it, is for something that doesn't concern Offaly. This is for an incident that happened in Kerry.
But obviously it does concern Offaly. Sorry,
it does, it does. But the actual process was because of an incident that happened in another county. It didn't happen in Offaly. And there is a disciplinary process. And until you get to the end of that, that's what the situation is.
Did you see the incident, Tommy, regarding Stephen Wallace, and did you make any sort of judgment on whether or not he should continue as Offaly manager as a result of that?
Sorry, I missed. Did who make any judgments?
Did you and the county board make any judgment as a result of seeing the footage of what occurred between Ardford and John Mitchell's in the Kerry Championship?
Listen, that footage has been around there since the incident.
Yeah.
You know, that was part of the disciplinary process, as far as I know. We made our decisions on what's best going forward for the players at the moment and for the county.
Sorry.
And we felt that the manager not being able to take part in the preparations, not being able to be on the sideline, not being able to be in the dressing room on the day.
But he hadn't been available for the last couple of weeks. Like the suspension had kicked in a couple of weeks ago.
Sorry?
The suspension had actually kicked in a couple of weeks ago, right?
But there was a continual situation of it. First there was a CCC meeting in Kerry. The process then would be that there'd be a hearing, and then there was a right of appeal. It's all part of a process.
It is, but you knew all along that he was going to get suspended, he was already
all along because we weren't involved in this situation.
But he'd been suspended for the last couple of weeks.
He felt that he informed me that he felt that he would be proved innocent or not guilty or whatever. But I'm not really. There's no point in going on about a thing. This is not relevant today. The only thing relevant today is that that term is over now, and it's up to us to put another management team in place.
Sorry, it's relevant because there's no logic to your decision. He was clearly suspended and was facing a suspension weeks ago. He hasn't been involved with the team, and then suddenly they lose the game, and 4 days later you then subsequently decide, okay, it's time to sack him now. Like there's actually no consistency to your thought.
Well, we're quite happy with our decision as we've made it.
Should you not have made it 4 or 5 weeks ago, though?
No.
But you waited until he was in the championship, until they've actually lost the first round of the championship, and now you've lost your manager in the middle of the championship.
You just want to focus on something now. I'm saying our position is that we've made our decision. The decision is final. We are moving on to get a management team in place to get the players back on the field, training to get ready for the next round of the championship.
Did you sit down with Stephen Wallace about a 3-year plan? He said earlier on that he had a 3-year plan for Offaly to try and get Offaly back on the right trajectory once again. Did you sit down with him to analyse that?
We would have hoped that this appointment would have been for 2 to 3 years, yes. And unfortunately, no one envisaged it finishing like this.
So why did you employ Stephen Wallace on the back of a 3-year plan that he had instigated, and why are you now tearing that plan up by essentially sacking him?
Because we feel that it's in the best interest of Offaly at the moment to move forward with a different management setup.
Is that not very short-term thinking?
Well, that's what we decided. We will be putting an interim team management in place now, and then at the end of the championship this year, we will review the situation and we will decide what is best for Offaly then going forward.
It seems that the interim management is just going to be a stopgap between here and the end of the season. I think from what you're saying there, I think you'd probably be on the same kind of train of thought. So it just seems strange to me that you would tear up what Stephen Wallace was planning with Offaly for the following 2 years of his term, just for the sake of a stopgap management team that who knows how far they're going to go this summer.
Well, we don't know how far they're going to go. As long as possible, the longer to go, that's what we would hope, that they will be involved in the championship for a good while. And we will put that in place. And that's where our thoughts are now. Like, we made our decision yesterday. I know the media want to look back on this, that and the other. We will not be looking back, we're looking forward.
Sorry, hang on a second now. We don't want to look back on this, that and the other. We want to look back to the 11th of April was when the 8-week suspension was handed down. This is now the middle of May. You could have fired Stephen Wallace logically, and I don't think anybody would have blamed the Offaly County Board for saying this is not a good look for our manager. We don't want anybody who has this type of suspension involved with the management.
What happened on the 11th of April? Because you're putting out a date there. Who handed down what suspension?
That's when the news broke that he was facing an 8-week suspension.
Yeah, but here you're not suspended until you have a hearing. And that only happened in the last 10 days.
You said you came on and said you didn't know that the appeal happened on Saturday, though. I
wasn't informed of the appeal on Sunday. Yeah.
Why didn't you sack him then when the appeal was heard?
This was Sunday when the team had got together to go to the match. That I was informed of.
So if they'd won the game, would you have sacked him?
It would be. I can't say it. It was members of the management committee who made their decision last night, and it may have been the very same decision. We dealt with what the facts in front of us were last night, and what decision we would have made if the facts were different is pure speculation, because we don't know. We made the decision on what was there in front of us.
It looks like you've sacked him because he lost.
Oh, sure, like teams lose all the time. You know, like if managers are sacked every time they lost a match, there'd be no managers. So. Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
So the winning and losing the game had nothing to do with Stephen Wallace being sacked.
The winning and losing on Sunday. No, yeah. It's like, sure, you take your chances. Every game like that has a 50-50 chance.
And the players apparently liking that tweet.
I said at the beginning, there was no point in talking to me about the players. We were not bringing the players into this. The players just want to play. I will not be making any other comments.
But the players themselves came into it by actually issuing a statement last night and handing it to the county board. At what point did you guys actually decide that Stephen Wallace was no longer going to be the manager of Offaly? What time last night did that happen?
Probably 5 minutes before I told him. The meeting started at approximately 7:30, and I don't know what time it was.
So you got a letter from the players at 8 o'clock saying they were happy to.
You can keep asking me all day about.
I'm not asking you about individual players. I'm asking you specifically. Will the players
into this?
Did the players not say they wanted to work with Stephen Wallace? Sorry, this is not asking you to throw the players under the bus or blame them for anything, but they said it's reported widely across the media today that there is a statement from the players that was handed to the county board last night. Did that happen?
Listen, you can keep asking me that question all day. I'm telling you, we will not be making any comment on anything got to do with the players, other than that the players want to play football, and we're going to put something in place so that
you ignored their desire to continue to work under Stephen Wallace. Is the point Stephen Wallace is making?
Listen, there's no point continuing to ask the same question. I'm not going to answer the question any more than I've answered it.
I don't understand why. So Stephen Wallace says that he had the support of the dressing room.
Listen, this is about Offaly now. This is about Offaly going forward.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I don't really understand. You can't confirm or deny that you got a statement from the players last night, even though every newspaper in the country has published it this morning.
I've said at least 4 times already that I will not be commenting on anything concerning the players other than their desire to play football, and that's what we're going to put.
Why not?
Things in place.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to. This is Offaly County Board makes the decisions to appoint people or remove them, not the players. There's no point in talking about the players here.
So you don't care about the players?
Just want to play football, and that's what we're going to give them the opportunity to do.
You don't care about the players' view on management. You don't.
You're saying we don't care about the players. We're consulting with the players here, and we're talking to the players. The players want to just leave it as it is, and I'm not actually answering any more questions concerning the players. The players, I know where we are with the players at the moment and what they want to do, and we're going to do that.
Stephen Wallace did say that he had had long-running battles with the county boards, that he believed it was because he kept asking for things on behalf of the players. Can you confirm or deny that?
When they're just out of a job, are going to have complaints about this, that and the other. Since Stephen was appointed, I've never had any good relations with him. Whatever comes out of it now, he's bound to be hurting now. I'm not going to gainsay that. We haven't had on-and-on battles with him. Every county managers are always looking for more. You can give them a certain amount. You can do this, that and the other. We have very good training facilities. We had a difficult year this year with weather, as at every other county. But this year we've been in a better position than we've ever been as regards what we have in place with training facilities.
Why isn't Cian Johnson playing for the senior team, Tommy?
Cian Johnson is not playing for the team because Offaly County Board decided last September that all under-20 players would play under-20 only in the championship, and that was reaffirmed unanimously at the last county board meeting, and you were well aware of that.
Did you listen to the concerns of Stephen Wallace, because he had the opposite view?
But sure, this is an Offaly County Board decision. It's not, the county board, full county board made both decisions.
Would you not think that the opinion of Stephen Wallace might be valuable, considering he was his manager for the entire National League this year?
Our position was not about Cian Johnson only. It was about all players under 20. Do we feel they should play under 20 championship for their county, and when they're eligible, when they're gone out of under 20, then that they play. And this is the position of all the club delegates in the county.
He says that the Offaly County Board are holding me back. That's a direct quote from Cian Johnson. What's your view on that?
The decision was made on this last September before any of the managers in Offaly were appointed. They all knew at the time of the appointment what the decision was and what the desire for the delegates was, that they play for their own age group.
Do you think it's a fair opinion to hold that the Offaly County Board are too involved in the senior team and they don't let the senior team to their own devices?
The Offaly County Board wouldn't be involved in what goes on at training or anything like that, other than what we have to put in place. That decision, as I said, was communicated to the under-20 and senior managers during the appointment process, and both were very well aware of what the county's position was.
It does seem like a fairly cavalier move, though, to sack the manager of the...
what our position is, and our position is the same still.
Yeah. It does seem like a fairly cavalier move to actually sack the manager mid-season when there might be no material effect on an interim manager, especially because he had put down a 3-year plan.
Sure, listen, the circumstances that we were faced with last night, we made our decision. That decision is made. We can talk about it forever. It's not going to change.
Yeah, it just seems that we don't have a clear understanding of why the decision was reached. Sorry, that's just why I'm kind of...
We have, listen, I've said it on numerous occasions since you started to talk, that the decision was made because we feel that a manager that is suspended from all GA activities couldn't in the longer term, carry out his responsibilities. That's end of story.
Grant, you guys appointed him. Do any of you take responsibility for the fact that you appointed this guy?
Of course I do.
And
it's regrettable that in this situation, I never envisaged this situation, and I take full responsibility for our decision to appoint him. And we felt it was the best thing to do at the time. Now we feel that we had to make the decision we made last night. We made that decision, but yes, take full responsibility for appointment.
And what does taking responsibility mean? Someone's going to resign?
No.
So you don't really have any. There's no repercussions. It's like, oh, I take responsibility for that. That's a bit of a pity. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Fair play to you. Can't brazen this out. Tommy, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Okay.
Tommy Byrne there, the Offaly County Board Chairman. takes responsibility, but is not returning and won't be actually moving or holding anybody else to account other than the manager.